And so look, Selena, it sounds like Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, says he's headed to where you're at to discuss the incoming administration's deportation plan. What more do we know about those meetings?
Yeah, that's exactly right. He said he's headed down here to put the finishing touches on this mass deportation plan. And this comes after today, Donald Trump, for the first time as president-elect, said that he's prepared to declare a national emergency and even use the military to carry out his mass deportation plans. Now, Homan, who's been named the border czar, he went on Fox News today and said that Donald Trump is prepared to provide the resources that they need to carry this out. But he admitted that it would be a huge undertaking. Take a listen to what else he said.
Can we bring rehired agents back, the ones that retired, bring them back and rehire them? I don't have insight on what currently ICE and CBP has for budget. How much money can be reprogrammed? I can tell you this, President Trump's committed to whatever he can to get us the money we need.
So you heard there Homan himself say there are a lot of what ifs, huge unanswered questions about how this is all going to work. Homan has said in the past that they would prioritize going after criminals and gang members, but he left open the possibility that all undocumented immigrants in this country could be at risk of deportation.
And Selena, we know that during the campaign, President-elect Donald Trump disavowed Project 2025 a number of times. We also know he has named a senior Republican leader at the FCC, Brandon Carr, as the new chairman of that agency. This man also wrote a section devoted to the FCC exactly for Project 2025. What changes could he be bringing here, Selena?
Yeah, Brendan Carr is someone who is vowed to slash regulation, go after TV networks for allegations of political bias, and he's also vowed to go after big technology companies. This is somebody who's also close to Elon Musk. In fact, he's used his position in the past to defend Elon Musk's companies. Back in 2020, the FCC had tentatively awarded $885 million in government subsidies to Musk's Starlink internet services provider company. But later, the FCC revoked and denied that subsidy because Musk was not able to live up to the commitments that were required under that program. At the time, Carr defended Elon Musk's companies, saying that this was, quote, regulatory harassment under the FCC.
All right, Selena Wang, our thanks to you. And for more on this story, I want to go now to the Associate Director of the U.S. Immigration Policy Program at the Migration Policy Institute, Julia Gillette. Julia, thank you for being here with us. And so let's start, first of all, with President-elect Trump saying he does want to focus here on criminal migrants. How exactly are they going to do that? And second part there, if they find a criminal migrant amongst other undocumented immigrants with no criminal history, then what happens to those individuals?
What we've seen in the past is that most deportations from the United States happen for someone who was involved in local law enforcement, whether that was for driving without a license or for a serious crime, who was then transferred to federal immigration enforcement agents and then processed for deportation. So we can expect that under expanded immigration enforcement, that would still be concentrated on people who are coming out of local prisons and jails or simply have been arrested by local police. What's less common is for federal enforcement agents to go to somebody's home, to have a specific target, spend the resources to find that person, develop an operation, go to that person's home. In that case, if there are other people there who don't have legal status, they might also be arrested. But a lot of migrants don't answer their door anymore when they hear someone knocking because they know that that could be federal law enforcement.
Well, so then what about the workplace? I mean, we just, listened to Martha Raddatz, and there was a whole story about the migrant workers that are so important and crucial for agriculture, especially here in California. We know the incoming border czar, Tom Homan, has said that workplace enforcement is on the table.
We certainly might expect to see more worksite enforcement. In the last Trump administration, there were some big worksite enforcement operations at meatpacking plants, at a nursery, at some restaurants where the government had identified that a lot of unauthorized immigrants might be working. Those are really disruptive to the companies, to the workers, to the communities that they're in, but they don't tend to add up to very big numbers. In the past, we've seen at a maximum, maybe 6,000 people arrested in a year from worksite enforcement. So it would have to be a really big ramping up for that to be a big numbers game in terms of immigration enforcement.